Okay, guys. Been a couple weeks. Let's see what's in here. I need some fancy background music, I guess. Put my lunch away. Okay, guys. Here's where we're at. The S10 crew. You remember you had the S10 in the paint booth, all taped up. We were going to put another coat of blue on it and then clear it. Well, I had no choice but to come in and clear it, but don't worry, we're going to need to be buffing on the hood. It did something that's called solvent pop. Those are those little bubbles that are in the top of it, but that's no problem. We can fix it. And I didn't clear over the white like we did on the bed because I anticipated some of that paint pulling off like it did the last time because of how long it sat taped up. And it really only did it in a couple spots, but we'll fix that when you guys get back in there. But it really turned out great, guys. Body work looks good. It's nice and shiny. And the problem with the hood is the clear that we use in here was fine, but if you remember how there was some of those finger marks where it was sanded right around in here on the hood, I put an extra coat of clear on there, and the clear that I used was a little too fast, meaning it dried before all the solvents got out, and that's how I ended up with all those little, you can see them, they're just little solvent pops, but just a little, knock them down with some like 3000 grit wet sandpaper and they'll buff right out. Okay, I had to clear the truck so I could get it out of the paint booth because there's a whole lot of work in here that has to get done, excuse me, and we don't at this point know exactly when we're going to get back in school. So, just like when you're paying bills, if you guys got any bills, you kind of want to start with the smallest bill that you have and pay that and then move on. So in this case, what we're going to do is we're going to start with the smallest job that we had that needs to get done and get it out of the way and move up. Now, some of these jobs are more important than the others, but they still have to be done. I don't know how many of you remember this hood that was brought in 2 days before we got kind of kicked out of school, so to speak. And all that we were to do to it was to prime it and paint it black. The body work on it is not the best. We did not perform the body work. We had one of my students primed the last day we were in school. So what I'll be doing today is sanding this and getting paint on it. Hopefully I'll film it as best I can. Paint on today that's small is this flathead Briggs & Stratton engine cover. This one will be kind of cool, I hope. It's supposed to go white with red metal flake. So we'll see if we get to it today. This one is Mr. Via's Jeep. And it is important that we get this one done before long. And I'm really upset that as hard as you guys worked on this thing, it doesn't look like you're going to be able to do the painting on it, but the work that you have done on it is excellent. After I get the hood and those engine covers painted, I'm going to be putting this in the booth and doing the final taping. I may have to retape some of this just because it's been sitting in here taped up for a while, but we're going to get it in the booth and get it painted hopefully this week. Former Del Dot dump truck. If you remember, we got the roof of it painted before all this coronavirus thing got started. I'm hoping that we get back to school before I do this. This was my sophomore class's project, and Ryan, Chase, Haley, and Anthony worked really hard on this, and I really want them to have a chance to do some painting. Well, guys, I ran into a little snag this morning. The air compressors chewed up the belts, so maintenance is out trying to round up some belts for those things. So we're gonna go old school here and hand sand. I've got a piece of 320 here, fold it over, and we're gonna sand this by hand. Since we're putting single stage black on here, we can get away with the 320 grit scratches. And this hood is gonna be wrapped with a vinyl wrap, so the paint is basically just giving a good smooth surface for that vinyl wrapper. Basically is a great big sticker to stick to. And like I said earlier in another video, we didn't do the body work to this thing. We are just priming it and painting it. So this is going to take a little while and a little boring to watch, so I'll stop it and turn the camera back on when I get done.